everyone, it's me, Fatima, all the way from the Gambia. I hope everyone's doing well and I hope everyone is staying prayed up because you know a lot of stuff is getting ready to happen and you need to make sure you are on the right side, the side of Yahshua. I hope everyone's doing good today. So I wanted to come and give y'all a little bit of news about an update rather, an update about a bill that's been going through in Ghana about LGBT rights and all them other folks, all that other stuff. But before we start, before I give you this update, go ahead, click the like button. If you're not a member, welcome and subscribe to the channel. And then also, I have some books that I have created. It's out there on Amazon. You can go visit my website, Black Women Networking. You'll see my journal books that's out there. And you will also see my African activity books for the kids. And I'm also starting to do activity workbooks, like selling just a few workbooks for the kids. And it's going to be even at a cheaper price. So just something to get the kids to kind of relearn Africa, okay? So yes, let's get back to the subject at hand. Okay, so I want to share my screen with you all and show you what is going on. And I'm so happy, to be honest with you all. I'm not going to lie, kind of happy to hear this. But just to let you know, in recent news, Ghana just passed their anti-LGBTQ bill. Or I'm thinking it's passed or either it's getting ready to be in their Senate and waiting for the president to sign it. But I think it's passed. I think it's passed. Everybody agreed to it. And I believe maybe the president signed for it. But here's an update on this. And then when you listen to this, I'll come back with my opinion, okay? All right, here we go.
And for what, you may ask? Simply to stick to its own culture and avoid becoming a victim of U.S. cultural imperialism. The U.S. thinks the African nations should not speak up and should follow whatever the U.S. tells them. But does it make sense that African nations need to get the U.S.'s permission before passing a bill in Parliament? The U.S. says if Africa does that, it won't ever send aid to Africa. So what will Africa choose? The U.S.'s help or its cultural sovereignty? Let's find out. The United States has recently issued a stern warning to Ghana, signaling potential consequences for foreign aid if President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo proceeds to sign a new bill criminalizing LGBTQI+ activities in the country. This development reflects the growing tension between international human rights standards and the sovereignty of individual nations to legislate on matters of societal values. The U.S. government's message suggests that imposing restrictions on foreign aid is a strategic tool to leverage influence and encourage adherence to international norms regarding human rights. But that raises many concerns, which is unable to provide equal rights to all races, have the right to talk about human rights. What happened in Gaza and the U.S. support to Israel, for that matter, makes the U.S. credible to talk about human rights. Some U.S. argue that foreign intervention may be necessary to safeguard fundamental rights and freedoms, but experts express reservations about external forces imposing their values on sovereign nations. What was the bill really about? What made the U.S. give Ghana a warning? This warning comes in response to Ghana's parliament passing legislation that intensifies the crackdown on LGBTQ rights. The bill in question imposes a prison sentence of up to 5 years for promoting LGBTQ+ activities. The legislation, which has triggered international concerns, aims to criminalize individuals identifying as LGBTQI+ and those who support them. The U.S. government's stance on this matter has been certain, and it has issued warnings of serious consequences if the anti-gay bill becomes law in Ghana. The warning emphasizes the need for Ghana to review the constitutionality of the bill to safeguard LGBTQ+ rights and prevent further discrimination within the nation. But why does the U.S. want Ghana to follow Western culture? According to the United States, its concern regarding Ghana's anti-LGBTQ+ bill is not about imposing Western culture, but rather about protecting the rights and freedoms of LGBTQ individuals. The U.S. government's stance is rooted in advocating for human rights and equality rather than imposing cultural values. The concern raised by the U.S. is centered on safeguarding the rights of all individuals in Ghana, irrespective of their sexual orientation or gender identity, and ensuring that discriminatory laws do not undermine basic freedoms and societal well-being. But will other nations decide what culture a nation should follow, or should the locals do it? Instead of leaders from another country, or even leaders from Ghana deciding the rules, the local people should get to choose the laws themselves.
Okay, so let me chime in on this subject. Okay, so I know a lot of people may have feelings about it, about the LGBTQ bill here, in Ghana. I will say this. First things first. Unfortunately, for the U.S. to come at Ghana, and as you all know, they came at Uganda also. But for the U.S. to come at Ghana to try to force this particular agenda on a country that normally don't even recognize this agenda is to me, in my opinion, is very shameful. And it tells me that the U.S. is up to something. Now, there have been videos. I'm not going to say what individual have said these things, but I'm sure many of you all can guess. But there are videos out there that shows that certain group of individuals have said that it's too many people on the planet. And one of the things that they want to do, or one of the things that they feel that needs to be done, is depopulation. And these individuals have said, one individual have said on video that they need to start the depopulation in Africa. Individuals. So yes, they have mentioned about depopulation starting in Africa. And I am praying. I'm praying for Africa, and I'm praying that Father Yah protects the people in Africa, protect the Africans, protect the African leaders against their agenda. Now, when you talk about human rights, let's talk about human rights for a minute. You know, everybody has had some type of representation in the U.S. for human rights, everybody but the Black people, even in the U.S. I don't remember anybody really speaking up for human rights for Black men or Black women in the U.S. So then why are they worried about the Black women and the Black men in Africa? I'm just asking that question. They can't, U.S. cannot come at anybody, this is my opinion, U.S. cannot come at any other country to tell them how to run their country when U.S. have a lot of issues themselves. Black men, Black women get killed almost every day for just being Black, walking down the street. And they talk about human rights for Africans. I'm praying that the Africans see that they don't care about you. They just need you to not have as many babies. That's all it really boils down to. They don't want to have so many Africans born. In my opinion, they don't want to have so many born that they can't control, is what it is. They can't control you, and they won't be able to control your resources. If Ghana had decided to go forward with this LGBT thing, first of all, Ghana would have been punished, in my opinion, Ghana would have been punished by the Most High. Because the fact is, you cannot say that this is the type of country you are, your traditions and everything else, but then you turn around and change one thing that's not your norm, your custom or tradition in your country to appease another country. And I'm so glad that Ghana did not fall for that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I can't even express. And the thing is though, that old saying, if you open up something, if you give it a crack, you let the devil come in and you give him a crack, he's gonna come in all the way eventually. With them allowing the LGBT, whatever it is now, to come into Africa, that would have went horribly, horribly wrong. Because now in America, we have gotten to the point that we have men being forced to wear dresses. You have women trying to take the roles of men. You have the issue of them pushing it on the children. And whether we realize it or not, children are being attacked. Our children in America, and especially in the education system, is being attacked. Because they're trying to be forced. They're telling Johnny, it's okay if you want to be a girl today, and it's okay if you want to go into the girl bathroom. So you're already prepping him to be a possible pedophile, or worse, if there's worse. So the attacks are on children, and that could have came to Africa. So I'm happy with Ghana not passing the anti bill. I am happy with that. I would tell Ghana, and not even just Ghana, I would tell even Africa. Africa, you have to realize, you have to know, you do not need the West, and you don't need their aid either. You are the bank. You don't need the World Bank. That's just my opinion. You don't need the World Bank. You are the bank. You have the gold. You have the phosphates. You have the oil. You have the gas. You have propane. You have the diamonds. You have all the resources that they want. You have the resources. You're the bank. You don't need the other banks. You're the bank. They just don't want, people just don't want, the West just don't want you to know how strong you are. And they want you to think that you need them. So good for Ghana. Good for Ghana, not falling for the okie doke, not falling for their sexual perversion. Look at South Africa. South Africa, from what I've seen, have accepted some of the stuff. And then look how some of the issues that they have down there. You would have brought them same issues to Ghana. You would have brought the same issues to Ghana. So good for you. Good for you, Ghana. Kudos for you. You just don't realize how many children's lives you have saved. You have saved many of your children's lives, especially with some that wants to do the surgery, changing up the surgery from one sex to another. You have saved some children's lives. You have even saved some children's mental state. The kids need to know that that's recreation. That's not procreation. So I'm very happy for Ghana. And and it's funny how, why are they pushing this kind of stuff? I mean, if you want to push anything, push education. How about teaching the people agriculture? How about teaching the people about health and healthcare? And how about teaching them manners or the history of slavery? You don't want to teach them that, but you want to teach them how a boy should kiss on a boy. It's so much other things that Ghana and other countries here in Africa could be so concerned about. That this LG thing, this is just the last thing they need to be concerned about. It's so much other stuff that needs to be pushed. Education for one. If you want to talk about or put money towards anything, put money towards their electrical system. Put money towards the roads and the housing and the healthcare. Who is sleeping with who is no one's concern. If they want to do whatever they want to do in their house, that is their business. U.S. needs to stay out of it. You cannot tell another country what to do when the U.S. is all jacked up. I see that y'all ain't coming after Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia got a tough penalty also for that. I don't see you messing with Saudi Arabia. But hey, I'm just glad that Ghana did not fall for it. So kudos to Ghana's parliament for not voting it in. Interruption, y'all. But yes, as I was stating, if we're going to be true to what's going on, y'all, if you're going to be true to Yahshua, you cannot accept this sin. If God says no, it's no. You can't be a lukewarm Christian. Unfortunately, you cannot. Well, I can say unfortunately, I'll take that back. You cannot be a lukewarm Christian. This is one of the sins that Father Yah said, no. I mean, I didn't write the Bible, but you can't say you follow the Bible, but you still accept this. You can't do it. You can't do it. So yes, leave a comment. Love to hear what you have to say. Click the like button for me. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Fatima out.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button so that way you could be notified of our upcoming videos.